Hey guys, it's John here. I'm recording this little intro to this episode while out and about walking. So, sorry about the motorway you might be able to hear in the background. It's quite near my house. Anyway, this week's episode is called The Best of Blah Wars, and it's a bit like those Simpsons episodes that we used to get now and again, where they would put together old clips and basically rehash a load of stuff. And we've done this because we've been doing Blah Wars for a year now, just about. And we've decided to put together 100 minutes of the funniest and most interesting moments from Blah Wars. There's some really good stories in here, some very funny, spontaneous moments that happened over the last year, the first year of Blah Wars, hopefully one of many years. And I hope you enjoy it. Before we start the episode though, a little request. We are trying to get ourselves nominated for a British Podcast Award under the category of Listener's Choice. And this is where you come in. We really want to try and get some sort of minor recognition for what we do. So it would be amazing if you could take 30 seconds out of your day to visit britishpodcastawards.com/vote. The /vote bit is very important. And you'll see a little form where you can type in the words Blah Wars. Remember, it's two separate words. And you'll then get a little suggestion for the show pop up. You click on that, and then you'll be able to fill out your email address and your name and hit submit, and that will effectively vote for us. If we get enough votes, we'll make it through to we'll get nominated effectively, and I guess it's then down to judges to listen to our show and decide whether or not we're worthy of the Listener's Choice Award. I know it's a very long shot, and we're not really banking on winning anything, but it would be really cool to get some kind of recognition for the effort of doing a show a week for a year and being a British show, and we're proud of the fact that we are a British show. So that's that. Before I actually start the show, I've got some other news for you that's quite important, just to give you a lineup of idea of what's coming up. So on Monday the 21st of May, you'll be receiving the Han Solo speculation episode. So myself, Jude and Brady are going to get together and we're going to be putting down our predictions for the film, a lot like we did days before The Last Jedi came out. So you'll be receiving that one on the Monday the 21st. And then on Thursday the 24th, that's the release date in the UK for Solo, we're going to be seeing the film on that day and recording an immediate reaction. It'll be myself, Brady, Jude and Raj. We are then releasing that same day, so hopefully you'll get your hands on that in the afternoon if you're in the UK, or probably when you're waking up in America. That will have a little bit of spoiler-free discussion at the beginning, and then we'll jump into spoiler territory, so it might be an episode you want to avoid until you've actually seen the film. Then on Saturday the 26th of May, if you are in London and you're going to MCM Comic Con, you will see me, Jude and Brady there. The three of us have been kindly given press passes for the event, and we are going to head on down there. We're going to be reporting from the event and talking to cosplayers, whoever we can get our hands on really, and hopefully interviewing some of the guests. We've got Anthony Daniels is there, and the original actress who played Mon Mothma is there, but I don't think she's actually there on that day. But there's a couple of others. Moff Jarod, that guy. There may even be more by the time we get there. So hopefully it'll be a fun day. And if you are going, by all means come up and say hi to us. We'd love to meet you. And then if you aren't going, the episode on Monday the 28th of May will be our report from that day. So we'll have all sound bites of things we've recorded through the day and any interview segments. We'll be doing lots of Instagram live videos on that day as well, so do check our social media for all kinds of cool stuff of us at Comic Con, taking advantage of our passes and hopefully not being a nuisance to anyone. Anyway, So we've got some fun weeks ahead of us and lots of cool Blah Wars things going on. I hope you don't mind that we are releasing a clip show this week, but we have wanted to do this for ages. It's also a nice way of looking back and having a laugh at some of the crazy times we've had in the last year, and it was lots of fun to put together. So here it is, the best of Blah Wars Year 1.
For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice in the Old Republic. Before the Dark Times, before the Empire.
If you want the power of the dark side,
You may fire when ready.
I'll show you the dark side. We would be honored if you would join us.
Don't worry, R2. We're going.
That's enough, but I know what you have there.
I am a Jedi, like my father.
So what was the first time you consciously watched Star Wars? Because obviously no one said to you at the time, this is Star Wars, did they? I mean, how did you...
No. There used
how
to be
did you
this...
get into it?
So back in the day, it must have been, well, I'm talking early 90s now, I'm saying like 1991.
Yeah.
There used to be this guy called the Video Man that would come round in his massive blue van and he'd sell all kinds of stuff to my mum.
Did you have to go upstairs and play while he was in the house? Was your dad at work when this was going on?
Cut that. We'll cut that. Cut.
Nothing gets cut.
Unbelievable, doesn't it? Brilliant. Well, Mum, you're not listening to this. Anyway, she'd buy us some, I don't know, tissues, and he's just sitting there pissing himself.
You're going to need those.
Brilliant. Absolute nonsense. Oh,
Carry on.
Capri Sun, knock off Capri Sun from Germany. I remember that. It tasted like shit. It did, mate. It did. It's sugary and it just burnt your teeth to nothing as you drank it.
Was it white?
Yeah, it pretty much. God knows what was in it.
Did he make you close your eyes when he fed it to you as well?
Oh, censored. We're going to have to slap an 18 on
the
this.
Video man.
The video man
okay.
in his blue van come round. But he basically had these crates of VHS. And I'd crawl over them. I mean, God knows how he let me do that. But I'd look and I'd pick stuff like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
What else did I love? Regular Sandlot Kids later on. But there was Star Wars and there was Back to the Future and there was all those things. And that was when I consciously made the choice to look at the cover of a Star Wars VHS cover and go, do you know what? That looks amazing. And I think I remember watching Jedi and going, oh, hang on, there's Jabba. Got the trilogy, and you'd hire it for a week. It's like going to Blockbuster, but it's a guy in a van.
Cool.
Knock off VHS.
The love film before it happened.
Yeah, and you basically rent it, and then you give it back. But that was it, and I just kept on renting these out week on week.
The video man with his van, I reckon he had on the side of his van, Video Man and amateur gynecologist. Because I reckon he was... Your mum was very colourful, basically.
Oh, mate. Leave my mum out of this podcast. Just name him Jude's mum.
I put it on the iTunes description. I put not safe for work and not safe for your mum.
Not safe for your mum. Brilliant.
He must have seen your mum coming.
So this is all going to be fresh and quite exciting actually when we go to I said theatre last time, but cinema in December. It's going to be good. So next
where are we going to be, mate? Leicester Square?
Well, we're going to have to. We saw Rogue One there together, didn't we? There was that bloke, wasn't there? On the he was playing the piano or something.
That was good fun actually. Before Rogue One started, this geezer was on a massive organ. He was playing dun, 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 dun,
and he sinks into the ground. I was worried that it was going to be a black and white version.
It
like
felt,
a silent film.
It felt like something from The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
I was expecting Munchkins to come running on, but
he's bloody loving that shit, wasn't he?
He was having a great time.
Waving as he sunk into the floor.
Everyone cheered, and everyone was cheering as he went down. They knew the film was going to start.
Well, yeah.
Do you remember this man with massive hair came in and sat right in front of me?
He went, oh, for fuck's and I just sunk into my seat going, I don't want to be a part of this. And
Literally,
he turned
like
round
5
and
minutes before the film starts, this guy came in with this enormous head.
Well,
Like,
he was massive anyway. He was a tall bloke.
But I think he had like a tall haircut like Marge Simpson, didn't he?
Basically, yeah, I mean, the Marge Simpson-esque as well, it was massive. It was huge.
Yeah.
And,
Didn't we have a go at him?
well, you bloody did. I didn't.
How dare you come to the cinema with your head?
You pretty much said that. I mean, it was a bit. Yeah, it was that. It was that bit. I mean,
How dare you
I
have
could
the
feel
audacity to sit in front of me?
I could feel you getting more and more wound up, and I was going, I'm just going to eat my popcorn in silence and pretend this isn't happening. I could see you fidgeting, and it got to. I thought you were going to slap him in the back of the head at one point. And then you went, I'm not going to say what you said, but you went, massive head. Fancy comes to the cinema with a head like that. It's what you said. And he turned around and he went, I can't believe you're being so rude. And I literally put the bucket of popcorn on my head and apologised profusely. I looked like such a dickhead because you just sat there in defiance. Oh, God.
And then, he left.
He left.
He never came back. I think he went and found a different seat. Bless him.
I'll tell you what, if you're thinking about going to was it the Odeon in Leicester Square?
Yeah, just go on the balcony. Do not sit on the ground floor because it's all the same level.
We'll give the bloody dates out. So if you're going on the same date as me and John, make sure we'll give the seat numbers
We're going
out
to buy
as well.
the seats in front of us as well when we go.
Don't
We'll have the
come
whole
because
fucking aisle clear.
This rude bastard would be slagging you right off.
Yeah.
Unless you're a midget.
I can't
in which
stand
case
that at
fill
the
your
cinema
boots.
though. I think the correct term is dwarf, mate, or little person.
I apologise. I didn't.
All right.
Okay, moving on.
We're moving on
Right.
swiftly. Talking of midgets, we've got
BB-8.
BB-8. No, he's not.
Is there a person shoved in the ball, or is it all robotic?
I think it's Warwick Davis all rolled up. Have you seen Hook, where the kid rolls down the? Yeah. It's not a robot. It's Warwick Davis rolling around in there
Like a hamster on a hamster wheel. Okay.
He's doing so fucking well, isn't he?
Mate, he's smashing it. He's a lovely bloke as well.
He's laughing all the way to the bank.
Have you met him?
Yeah, I saw him. Well, I haven't physically spoken to him. I've seen him on his little what's it called? What's that thing called? You stand on it, it's got wheels. Segway. Was it Star Wars Celebration in London?
Yeah.
To last year, the one you were supposed to go to.
Well, why didn't I go? I was in Mauritius. That's why.
That's it. Yeah.
I was on holiday. So I was Mauritius or Celebration.
I remember going to when I was really young, I was in Scouts for about 6 weeks. I hated it, so I quickly kind of left. Anyway, when you go to Scouts, you've got to go and buy the uniform, and you go to this. Seems weird when you say it now, but you go to this strangest house. This guy lives out in the middle of nowhere type thing, and you literally buy. Yeah, you buy the uniform on his doorstep. And while we were there, the subject of Star Wars came up, and it turned out.
Sorry, what is this house? Who is this bloke that lives in the middle of nowhere giving uniforms out to Scout kids?
I don't know. There was like a middle-aged guy, and he was selling Scout uniforms.
Brilliant.
From his doorstep.
Did he tempt you in with Star Wars toys?
I don't know. I don't even know how it came up, but the. I don't
the paedophile
remember.
from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
It sounds like it. He didn't have a long nose.
Children.
Yeah. He had a massive net as well. I remember. But he. Yeah, he said in the attic he had loads of Star Wars stuff.
Oh God, John,
my eyes lit up.
Going? Where's the story going?
Go on, help yourself.
You into
Got
some
there.
weird sex dungeon. Go on.
My eyes lit up,
love
right?
for Star. Is this going to turn out to be you love Star Wars because you're trapped in some weird psychological?
This isn't the video, man. It's not the same kind of fish as that. But the thing was. I sort of looked at my mum, she looked at me, and then we realised we need to try and get everything he's got off him. And so a couple of weeks later, a couple of days later, I think it was, I came in from school, and the dining room door was closed. First time ever. Never seen the dining room door close. Open the dining room door, there's a great big pile of bin bags, okay? And we were told not to go near them, not to look inside them, but we sort of knew that what was in the bin bags was loads of Star Wars
dead
stuff.
Bodies. It sounds mental. Go on.
It was. And we peered through, and it's like I remember peeking through the bin bag and just seeing Scout Walker. It's like the box with a picture of Vader on it and the
So
Scout
hang on,
Walker
you went
standing in
around
the
this
snow.
guy's house. You went
Yeah.
around this guy's house in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
He had a load of black bags in the middle of the room.
No, they were in his attic. I don't know, but I never saw the bags. I saw the bags in my living room. What I think happened was
in your living room.
Yeah, I came home a couple of days later from school, and there was a pile of bin bags in my dining room, and inside the bin bags were loads of vintage Star Wars toys
Got you.
that
And that's
presumably
how you
had come from the man who sold the Scout uniforms' attic, and they all had like price tags on them that he'd written on every single one. It was the same handwriting, so he'd obviously cost them up, and we got them for a fucking steal, mate. A steal. It was great, and they was like boxed. Not mint condition, but like, you know, a bit tatty, but boxed. All the instructions are in there. All the pieces are in there. Beautifully, you know, looked after. I reckon my mum must have done him a favour or something like that, because I don't know how he got them for so cheap. Maybe my dad was in on it too.
I was
don't
going to
know.
say, maybe your dad sorted him out.
No.
Right, what do you
Big
think
old
of-
Rebel transport in the background.
what do you think of this new-
I hate it. I don't mind the aerial shots like that. It's not so bad. But the silly aliens fucking around and Jawas.
Fucking around.
They're just the little CGI dog things running about.
People not looking where they're going.
There's no need for that.
It's a bit too much
Utter
comedy.
shit. So much stuff walking past the camera that was shot, you know, later and added in. Look at this. Fuck off. Fuck off. That is a really nice shot. Spoiled. Complete. Look at that fucker.
What do you mean? What do you
Just
mean?
utter shit. Why ruin it by putting a great big CGI dinosaur? It looks fake. That thing in the background, not necessary.
Yeah, but that,
Absolute bollocks.
but
I'm so angry I'm not even listening to the story. This is the scene, the really famous scene where he uses
You
mind
can't
tricks
listen
for
to
the
it
first
anymore.
time. Look at that! They've even ruined that shot with
Yeah,
a
but-
stupid Ronto thing in the background.
no, you got a theory about the worm, haven't you, John?
The worm?
The
Oh
worm.
yeah, no. So the worm in the garbage crusher. I mean, how the fuck did it get there? That's what I want to know. It's like it's obviously got in there as a kind of parasite, and it's grown and grown and grown. It probably eats rubbish or something.
What do you mean, a parasite?
I reckon like somebody stuck an old motor in there once, right? It had a load of fucking disgusting worm things in it, and then they grew. They grew big. And
Who's
made,
sticking the motor?
the actual thing looks more like a squid. It's got like it does. If you look at the picture of it, it's called
I reckon the stormtrooper had
Diagonora or something
worms.
like that.
Went to the
Diagonora.
loo, took a shit,
Did
and
you? Had worms.
It's grown into.
I don't think there's human shit in that garbage
Might
room.
as well be, mate.
Now that is a good use of comedy in a film. Like C-3PO is a bit of comic relief, right?
Yeah.
That's all right. But like people bending over and farting and stuff like that.
Where's that happen?
The fucking prequels all the time. Like, I've trod in some shit. Oh, a creature just farted in my face. It's just utter childish shit. That film was like, you know, what George Lucas is watching. He's like watching the final cut and he's thinking, oh my god, we're going to sell so many lunchboxes from this. And a Jar Jar Binks whoopee cushion maybe, or some Jawa shit.
Isn't it? That's right. Jar Jar Binks treads
in some shit. And then he...
is it the EOP farts in his face or something?
Something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
a creature farts in his face. It's like that is basically a metaphor for what George Lucas is doing to the fucking viewers. George Lucas,
Yeah.
this he's just fucking bend. He may as well bend over, pull down his pants with his fucking huge frog-like fucking neck. Bending over, he splays his anus open. Okay, there's fucking winnets everywhere. There's fucking beads in there. Okay, and he just farts in your face, Jude, and you just open your mouth and you've got little nuggets going in there and everything.
can't
like,
say it.
You've got like a brown smear on your glasses that have steamed up, and afterwards you just went, "Thank you, George, for that. Here's my money. Thank you for that, George.
can't say that.
Do it two more times."
You can't say that.
I can say that.
Oh.
I can say that. That is what George Lucas did to Star Wars. to his own child. It's like having a baby.
Oh, no, he didn't do
Having
that.
a baby and then like
No.
just defecating
No.
all over it.
You
It is. If you find that, if you think I'm wrong
Stop
about that,
talking.
then you're wrong.
John, mate, you're gonna have to edit that.
We're not going to edit this. What's George Lucas going to sue me for my opinion?
It's just anal warts or whatever you said.
I said he's got winnets.
If you've listened to this far, it's probably
He's got tag nuts and stuff. It's just a massive. It's like Chewbacca going through a swamp. I mean,
Oh man, you can't say that, John.
his big hairy ass.
Right, back to the film.
Oh.
This is
So,
probably the worst
The Death
commentary.
Star. Should we play the game?
Well, we've got a few more of these things to read.
Well, we can spread them because we're doing a double episode, but we're going to need way more than that if we're doing this. You shouldn't eat on air. Don't eat on air.
I'm gonna eat on fucking air. We're
Oh,
gonna
it's
do that.
disgusting, mate. No one wants to hear the sound of you chewing, but
That's
we're gonna
the game,
do we're gonna do a game now, and it's called "What the fuck are you talking about?" And the way it works,
Because you gotta eat on air.
yeah, we've got a deck of Star Wars cards here. What we're going to do is Jude is randomly going to pull out a card out of this deck. He's going to look at the card, and he's going to try and describe to me what is on the card while he's got a mouthful of sausage rolls.
How many?
Get as many as you can to the point where you're like almost about to gag, and that's about, you're used to shoving it in, mate, so why don't you just, don't be shy, get your fist right in there, grab a good handful of those,
That's what your mum said.
shove it in your mouth.
Again, that's what she said.
And then you're going to pick a random card from this deck. There's all sorts of cards in here. Some cards are weapons, characters.
Okay, so I'm shoving them in.
Yeah, he's shoving them in, so he's got 2 in now. Fingers. He can barely talk as it is.
I'm gonna die.
I think maybe get a third one in, then we'll give it a go. Can you talk? Don't put a fourth one. It can't even fit. Take a card. He looks like he's inflated his bottom jaw or something like that. You look like Woody Harrelson. Okay, take a card, any card, and describe what's on it. Okay, he's looking at the card. He's thinking hard about this. He's going to describe. Are you ready? Yeah, ready. Okay. It's a big small thing in the sky. Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
Is it a Star Destroyer? Right, cool. Do another one. See, everyone's got to do a minute. Nice one. Okay.
Right.
Oh, so I saw that one. Take another one. Oh, shame. It was him as well. Right. Take another one. He's put a 5th one in. Vader. What? I'm gonna look at the card. Is it Tarkin? What the fuck? It's a picture of Tarkin. I don't understand what you were trying to do.
I've just got fucking sausage roll everywhere. Oh, fuck me.
Oh, God.
Talking, I was saying Vader, releasing. It's literally...
Okay, that sounds.
the only thing.
That makes sense now, I suppose.
Oh, fucking hell.
What have you got there,
So,
mate?
well, this is a Star Wars joke book.
Yeah.
that
This was given to you by Noor, right?
Noor Diab. Yeah. She won't be listening. She hates Star Wars. This was a little... I don't know why she got it. She just found it in a shop and decided to pass it over.
Good, pass on the love.
I've now flipped through it. It's a joke book, Star Wars joke book. Flipped through it. I'm yet to laugh at a joke, but I thought what I might do is...
They're quite laboured, long jokes or like cracker jokes.
Well, they're pretty... It varies. You've got stuff like that. That's a 2-pager, so we won't dive into that. And then you've
That'd
got...
be good.
And then you got a couple of, I'll give you an example. How do Ewoks catch fish?
Don't know.
With their bare hands. With their bare hands.
With the bare hands,
Crap.
okay.
How do Ewoks keep cool?
Don't know.
Bare conditioning. This is shit.
see.
This is
Puns.
proper shit.
Yeah.
Let's get off Ewoks. Let's see if there's anything else.
Is there anything about trade embargoes in there?
Just trying to find episode 1. No. We've got we've got IG-88.
Yeah, go on then.
You're going to love IG-88's droid jokes. If not, please don't throw eggs at him. His circuits are still scrambled from last time. That's the level. I'm going to just put it down.
That's quite good. I like that one.
Shit.
I like that one, but I didn't laugh.
How do droids say goodbye?
I don't know. I'm trying to work out what the pun could be. Shutting off, sir? No?
Microwaves.
Microwaves.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I saw a couple of Hutts fighting the other day.
Yeah.
They were really slugging it out. And I think on that note, I'm going to... Oh, he actually laughed.
Obviously, you've just come back from the toilet. I couldn't help noticing that your flies are undone and your penis appears to be hanging out.
Yes.
I've got to say, it's quite an impressive foreskin. I don't think I've ever seen one that big before.
I could pull it back a little bit, but I don't really want to.
No, please don't. Please don't.
Look, when I started in the 70s, it was like this.
No, please put it away. I really don't think you should be stretching it like that
I
anyway.
shoved it in sideways. And Francis helped me.
No, please. I don't want to know.
I mean, it can't get any worse.
Well, can we just move on?
Yes.
So, thank you for coming on the podcast. Have you actually heard our podcast before?
Yeah.
And you're not worried?
Oh, I'm not worried at all.
It's just that I intend to be quite frank with you about some of the strong feelings I've got about the prequels, particularly.
They haven't liked any of them, really.
Who, the Star Wars fans?
Yeah, I'm very pleased with the whole thing.
Well, but it must hurt to hear so much abuse about your work, right?
It hurts a great deal. But part of making movies is you get attacked, and sometimes in very personal ways.
Well, suppose in the A New Hope commentary, I might have gone a bit overboard.
Way too strong.
Well, I was particularly annoyed that you have gone back to the original 1977 Star Wars, you've edited it, added all this extra shit that no one likes, and now you're not letting us have the original version back. I mean, what's the point?
The point is, it's like if you paint your house white, and somebody comes along, well, that should be a greenhouse. Well, fine, but I wanted to paint it white. I don't think there's anything wrong with painting it white. I don't think there's anything wrong with me for painting it white. Maybe it should be a greenhouse.
No. It should be a white house because it was a white house in 1977.
Everybody says the same thing.
Well, what does that tell you then?
They're too picky.
No, it's not that. The fact is, Star Wars means a lot to so many people. It's a very sacred, special thing. Granted, you directed that first film.
Yes.
But you've got no right to go back and sort of change what Star Wars means to those people and doodle all over their past. I mean, this is... I, for one, was delighted when you sold Lucasfilm to Disney because I knew they're going to go out and they're going to make these amazing new films.
They're going to be small movies.
Well, the box office figures don't seem to suggest that. I mean, Force Awakens, Rogue One, for fuck's sake. I mean, Rogue One was better than any Star Wars film you made.
Yeah.
God, you're so fucking difficult.
I am difficult.
I mean, it's bad enough that you went and edited and, fucked up all the original trilogy, and then you went and made the prequels, right? The expectation was through the fucking roof. And what do we get? 3 utterly shit films.
Well, not really.
Oh, come off it. Seriously, Jar Jar Binks, midichlorians.
It's definitely not what I meant to do. And I've just sort of followed it to the end.
So you sort of started badly and you didn't really show any self-restraint. I mean, those movies are a complete and utter failure.
Yeah, I've earned enough, I've worked enough to be able to fail the rest of my life, and that's what I'm going to do.
I just wish you'd done it a bit better, you know. What was this about, some 8-year-old boy that helped you write the script?
9 or a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Or 11.
Yeah, him. So, like, it really shows. I mean, some of the dialogue in that film, that first one particularly, is so fucking awful. I mean, you can't be proud of that film. You can't be happy with what you've done.
Actually, I'm very happy.
But nobody really likes these prequel films. I mean, they made loads of money at the cinema, right? Yeah, they sold loads of toys. But when you watch them again, they're fucking awful.
You know, we liked the movies. There's a whole generation right there.
Was that a special part of your life?
It was a part of my life in terms of...
And what possessed you to come up with a character like Jar Jar Binks?
You know, I came up...
It's like a racial fucking stereotype, a turn-of-the-century black man. and you've got this Watto fucking thing, which is obviously like a Jewish stereotype.
Sort of narcissistic.
Yeah?
I don't have anything.
Come on, what were you thinking when you what on earth possessed you to put that? You got the Chinese people there.
No, I mean, I guess it was embedded in my DNA.
Right. How's your love life?
What love life?
Yeah. Would you ever get married again?
No, I'd love to get married again, but I'm not going to get married unless it's the right person.
Well, I could probably set you up with Jude's mum. I mean, she's not technically single, but thanks very much for joining me, George. It's been a very interesting chat. Oh, you've come free again.
I want to talk porgs.
Yeah, go on.
I want to talk porgs because what's your take on these little things?
They sound really cute.
They look really cute. Isn't that what they sound?
Have you heard the sound of them?
I haven't heard the sound.
Okay, you carry on talking. I'm going
Right.
to find the sound of them, and then you can hear what they
Because
sound like, guys.
the reason I want to bring it up, they're massive. They're all
Yeah.
over the internet. It seems like everyone on Instagram, Twitter, they've changed their avatar to a porg.
Yeah.
Mainly the one sitting in the cockpit with Chewie.
Yeah.
So
Here we go. Do you want to hear the sound
Let
of
me-
BB-8
let me
talking to porgs?
they've basically invented a worse sound than Chewbacca. More irritating sound.
They sound like birds.
Little birds, yeah. And do you
I've
think
heard
they're
about a bird
vicious? Do
song.
you think they're vicious?
No, I think
They're
they're harmless.
really sharp teeth. But I've been seeing online people getting annoyed with it because it's clearly a marketing thing.
Obviously.
To sell toys, right?
Obviously, yeah, definitely.
So I hope they use them in some way in the film that's meaningful. They obviously take one away with them
Yeah,
because they're the ones in the cockpit.
yeah.
But I think they're going to have a big. I think they're going to be a big part of the film. I think they're going to be. I do. I think they're going to be some sort of force sensitive, little weird creatures.
They're just birds,
Um,
but like puffins.
What do you do, right? What do you
I
do
just think
if you
they're
woke
they're
up?
there to make the audience go, oh, and have a cute thing. That's
Right,
all.
yeah, but
They
okay,
had
well-
BB-8 in.
What would you do, right, if you woke up tomorrow morning
Yeah.
and you were a porg on the island?
I'd probably try and make as much money as possible. Ride the coattails of the film.
You
Gonna-
don't know. No. There's
I'll
no
go-
film. It's real life. You transcended
Okay.
the galaxy. You're now a porg. You know.
Oh, I'm
everything-
living
you
in
know
the Star
everything-
Wars universe.
Yeah, you know everything you know now. You're John Galantini.
In the mind of a porg.
All right, but I've said to you, here's a magic coin.
Yeah.
You're gonna put this coin under your pillow, and tomorrow you will definitely wake up in the Star Wars universe as a character. But the thing is, you could be anything, right? And you're going, oh yeah, definitely. You put the coin under your pillow, you go to sleep, you think, oh man, I might wake up as Boba Fett, I might wake up as, like, you're like really, you're loving it, you're picking it up. It could be Darth Vader, you
Yeah.
wake up, you wake and you're a little fucking porg. What would you do? What's your first thought? What is your first thought? What do you-
Probably have sex with another porg. That's all they can do,
Brilliant.
really, isn't it? I
Brilliant.
guess they're just there to procreate. there's a lot of them, so obviously they are getting a lot of action on that island.
Get away. Your first thing was
Have sex
I'm gonna
with
find another
another-
porg.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah.
Wouldn't even.
Do you reckon they reproduce like ducks do? Because ducks are the only creatures on Earth to be filmed taking part in homosexual necrophiliac rape.
Cut that.
So
That is not
that's
going in
true.
the fucking
That is
podcast.
100% true.
I don't care. What?
They will literally they reproduce exclusively by gang rape, and they will rape their own like dead brother and stuff.
Right. I'll be honest. I've never seen that shit.
If the porgs are like that, it's true.
Well, I don't want to see that. Don't Google that. If you are googling that, you're a
You're
freak.
sick. You're a freak.
You need to sort
Yeah.
your life out. But that's weird. So that's porgs, everyone. Porgs
Porgs.
apparently sexual.
No, I'm just saying
things.
that's what ducks are, mallards. But
Right.
if they based him on that, there could be some
Brilliant.
unpleasant side to them. Maybe they are like gremlins. Maybe they look all sweet and you get them wet.
Well, that's what I was thinking. This is the next thing. I think they're little bastards, and I think you don't want to get on the wrong side of it.
Well, we'll see.
Another little thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
My dad.
Okay.
Alright. Number of
Has he
reasons.
been in court again?
No. He's fine. He's fine. When I was younger, right?
Yeah.
A little story for you. I was in the kitchen playing lightsabers with my brother. So I had an actual extendable plastic Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber.
Yeah. The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, and my brother had Qui-Gon's.
Yeah.
And we'd turn the light off, let these things glow, and we'd just like have a thrash around. But my dad had told me and my brother Josh, don't, whatever you do, don't fight with the lightsabers because you'll break something.
Right.
And I went, yeah, okay, cool, no worries. Didn't listen to that. And we were having this silent lightsaber battle quite fast, like going for it.
Yeah.
Trying not to laugh because we didn't want to give the game away.
Yeah.
And then one of us, I can't remember, I'm going to blame Josh, why not, hit a vase and smashed it all over the floor. And I could hear Dad coming down the stairs, thump, thump, thump. I grabbed the lightsabers, I threw them under the kitchen table and like put a towel over them or something. And Dad comes and goes, what was that? And I went, oh, sorry, little accident. I was making a cup of coffee and I slipped and accidents happen. And he was like, okay, that's all right then. And just as he turned to walk out of the room, the lightsaber, the towel on the lightsaber, put enough force that it twisted it and put the button on. And all under the table glowed blue. And we're going around. Oh, my dad, right? He goes absolutely mental. He picks his lightsaber up, extends it, and starts smashing it against the table trying to break it, and it doesn't work. And he's trying to bend it on his knee, and it's not working. Typical you with your lightsaber battles. And that was that.
He
that
caused more damage with the lightsaber than you did.
There was dents all over the table. There was like the lightsaber was just battered to oblivion after that. But yeah, that was it always cracks me up.
That's good. I got a good story about my brother too. When I was going to leave, don't know what you call it. I guess primary, junior school.
Right,
and you go into the next school. You know, you go on the open nights with your parents. You look around the potential school you're going to go to.
Right, go on.
So I went down to this school, Courtmore School. This is in Fleet.
Right.
Went along with mum and my brother. And I don't know, my mum and little brother was there, but probably because there was no one to look after him, so he came along with us. He was 2 years younger than me, so he would be in year 5,
Right.
and I'd be starting in year 7. So I don't know. How old are you when you're in year 5? What, 10? I think it is. I think it's about 10.
Is it?
Yeah, 9, 10. So he and I are walking around the school. We go to the IT department, and they've got Windows 95 computers, which at the time we didn't have anything like that. The best we've ever seen was an Acorn, you know. And my brother sits down at this computer and he's playing around with it, and he basically opens Word and he does I and a great big heart, clip art, love, Star Wars, all in Times Roman, and then
lovely.
great big smiley face underneath a smiley face, clip art. Yeah. And he prints this out. I think somebody might have been helping him and saying, do you want to print that now? Do you want to do this? Anyway, so he's got this little piece of paper. He's walking around the school with us. going through the library, bump into this guy in a suit. He's the head teacher at the school, Mr. Shorey. Okay.
Yeah.
He looks a bit like Jim Broadbent, if you can imagine Jim Broadbent.
Yeah.
You know, hello, hello, boy. Yeah, Jim Broadbent. Anyway, so he says, "How are you? Nice to meet you, Mr. Shorey, and whatever."
Yeah.
He says, "Oh, my parents are like, oh yeah, John's hoping to come here.
Yeah.
If he's lucky, you know, hoping to come here. You're very excited, aren't you, John? Yeah, obviously best behaviour, best impressions."
Yeah.
He looks down at my brother, and hello there. What have you got there? And he takes this bit of paper off Sam, and he opens it out, and he goes, "I love Star Wars." And my brother goes, "Yeah, but I'm not gay though."
What? Out loud?
Genuinely, yeah, he goes, "Yeah, but I'm not gay though."
What's that got to do with anything?
It's just when obviously Sam was in junior school, and it's like gay is just the
thing.
If somebody like touches your arm or brushes you, or you put another person's coat on wrong, or you wear your trousers
when you're 8 years old, you're just conscious.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if you even so much as show any affection to anybody, you're gay.
What was Jim Broadbent's reaction to that?
I don't remember his reaction because I just clamped my hands over my face and just wished that I couldn't believe what I just heard, like in complete shock and disgust. I remember my mum sort of was very, very shocked. She was like, "Sam, like what? What are you doing?" So I hope Sam doesn't mind me sharing that story.
Did you get into school?
Yeah, I did get into that school.
Oh, well done.
I'm glad it didn't count against me.
No, getting any detentions.
Yeah, that was it's just hysterical, really. What he did.
Brilliant.
He obviously.
But he's a kid.
He genuinely thought Mr. Shorey would be concerned that he might judge him when he was gay. Yeah,
based on the fact that he loved Star Wars.
I don't know what. He's like, yeah, I'm not gay though. I hope that doesn't go against me.
I don't understand the connection. Like, what is Star Wars like? Got a reputation that only homosexuals?
No, because it's the whole thing about love. It's that his age. Yeah,
brilliant.
The kind of playground. Playground thing that kids get up to. They show any signs of affection to anything, any kind of emotion, and that makes you gay or soft or puff or whatever. Sorry for the derogatory terms. I'm just. This is in the language of the time. If you fell over and like while stumbling over you brushed your hands down another boy, just almost catch you. Then you'd be branded a gaylord, wouldn't you, at play school? That was kind of what it was like in the 90s when you're at school. It's true. We're talking about Phantom Menace. We're watching a digital copy, which we I think it's a Blu-ray copy. It's a Blu-ray copy. So, ready?
Yeah, let's hit play.
Nice and loud.
Has this got the red-faced man in it?
Get the remote control.
Red-faced man. Fuck me. Is that the level? That's the level. The red-faced man. Darth Maul he's referring to.
It's gonna be a good one.
Red-faced man. Fucking hell.
So you talk about racial stereotypes. Now, this guy, Jar Jar Binks, is basically the turn of the century black man. I reckon if we'd see, if they would let us look in the Lucas archives, I reckon George Lucas gave the design team a drawing, and it was basically a gollywog. And said, this is what I want, and they said, George, we know you're the ultimate. You might be the director, the writer, and everything, and you're financing the film. But there's no way, George, they're going to let you get away with this. And he's like, okay, we'll make him as racist and stereotypical as possible. And it's played by a black guy who has not done anything since.
It destroyed his career, man.
Yeah.
Ahmed Best is called, and it completely destroyed his career. No offence, I love you American guys, but my God, your sports are shite. The rest of the world couldn't give a fuck.
60% of our audience, you say?
Yeah, look, honestly, basketball, no one gives a shit. American football, well, the clues in the title.
What really annoys me about American football is when they come over here to our fucking country, to Wembley, and they fucking do the games there. Fuck off.
No one gives a shit.
You ever tried going to London on the day when it's just the train is full of wankers with shoulder pads? Fuck off.
Yeah, but they're not even American.
I know they're
wankers with shoulder pads from fucking East London.
Fucking beards. They're the kind of people that go down to Shoreditch every fucking morning and they ask for a load of ice cream served up in a fucking jar with a
Here's
handle
the
on the
other thing
side
about American
and a
football.
bloody pancake on
Right,
the side.
since one, fuck Star Wars, American football. Right, listen, 3 things. 1, football. You kick it once, you bunch of pricks.
It's rugby.
It's rugby.
Once.
You don't even touch it with your feet.
Pussy's rugby because you're
Right.
wearing all the fucking helmets
exactly.
and stuff. When we
Easy.
play rugby, we're
the
rolling
other-
around each other,
Right.
grabbing each other's cocks. You know, we don't even have any fucking
Here's the
armour
other
on.
thing. It doesn't make fucking sense, and it's boring. The third thing is more adverts than there is gameplay.
Literally.
Fucking wank.
It's like, here's 5 minutes of gameplay. Now let's cut back to the people
Right,
in the,
wait, I'll tell
the
you what.
actual pundits
You
while
lot-
the match
I-
is still going on in the background. No one's fucking paying attention.
Oh my god! I tried to watch the Super Bowl.
Here's a message from our sponsor.
I tried to watch the Super Bowl. I thought, fuck, oh mate, pot noodle and a
Super
wank,
Bowl,
mate.
Super Bowl, I'd rather watch a bowl of soup.
Yeah. Oh fucking hell! That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna wake up excited. When I'm gonna
Massive erection.
Well, I'll speak for yourself. I'm gonna jump on the train first thing at 7 o'clock.
You're not going to put your clothes on. You're just going to get up with your
I'm gonna
massive
be in my
erection and run down
Star
the
Wars
road.
pajamas.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leg it down the road.
Yeah.
Jump on the train. Meet you for
Yeah.
breakfast. We're gonna meet up at what time's our thing? 10 o'clock.
Why don't you fucking tell the world which seats we're fucking in, mate, as well, so they can go and fucking claim them? You bell. We're gonna. I don't know. I'm not even saying when we're gonna be doing the film.
okay.
We are seeing it on the 14th. We're seeing it in a cinema that is particularly round, okay, and happens to be the biggest screen in Europe or something like that.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be a good show.
and I'm not saying what time,
Okay.
but we are seeing it there.
So what I want to do is
Anyway, you
we're gonna
can't get
go,
tickets for it now anyway because it's all
Yeah,
sold
sold
out. I
out.
expect.
So we're gonna
But-
go. We're gonna go and have some breakfast, mate. And
Yeah.
we're gonna just like build the excitement up beforehand.
Yeah.
Big slap up meal. Yeah, it's just gonna be awesome. It's gonna be
Okay,
awesome.
cool. Yeah, we're going to do. I think we'll do a little bit of podcasting before the film
That's right,
starts,
yeah, get the
and then we'll
excitement
see
going.
the movie, and then we'll do a bit of podcasting after. The first couple of minutes after will definitely be spoiler free, and then we're going to say from this point on, don't expect spoilers because you're going to get them.
Yeah,
But we've
well-
already discussed this before. The plans have been
I know,
revealed.
but I can't
before.
wait. I can't wait.
I know, it's gonna
I've
be
got a
50 days' time.
I've got a couple of things to ask you, mate. One,
Yes, mate. You can't marry me.
No, well,
I think we should go after the film. We should go off and have a fuck somewhere. We'll go in the little underpasses near Waterloo. I'll bend you over in there and fuck you up the arse to celebrate.
No, that's not a celebration for me.
We'll consummate.
It's not a celebration for me. That's rape, and I don't want to
Okay.
be any part of it.
Okay, all right. If I won't do it unless you consent, mate. It has to be
well,
consensual.
Yeah, I don't want to have to put a hashtag out there.
Do you think we'll ever see
I like
time
Doctor
travel
Who.
in Star Wars?
No way, because that's
Would
gonna
never. Why?
Well, because that's gonna. You could go back to the prequels and stop Qui-Gon finding Anakin.
That wouldn't be such a bad thing.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. You could. Well, if they did that, it would probably be
Yeah.
Rey. It comes from. She's the same age as
Ability to-
Anakin, and she's a twin of
Yeah.
Anakin, but she's been like, oh mate, imagine it was this. Plagueis Plagueis impregnated Shemi Skywalker with Anakin and a twin called Rey, right? Anakin was born, did his
I'm
thing.
going to point out. I'm going to
Wait,
point
listen.
out the problem with this. Yeah, go ahead.
Right, no. Shimi's giving birth. She doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't even know she's got twins. Plagueis
Yeah.
pops into the tent, goes, all right, I'm a midwife.
He goes, all right.
Just going to check
Okay.
the baby.
Yeah,
Nicks Rey, right?
yeah.
Pops, freezes her, puts her in a frozen fridge thing, falls her out. No, he's dead. Balls. Hang on. Right.
You haven't thought this through.
No, I'm thinking on my feet. Snoke
Yeah, I can
finds
tell.
her, falls her
Yeah.
out. 30 years later. No, it's nonsense. Carry on.
She's dead. She dies in episode 2, doesn't she?
No, that's what I'm saying. No, Anakin's a twin. And they were separated at birth.
Well, how do you explain the difference in age?
That's what I'm trying to explain. You know, like Luke and Leia are twins, separated at birth. Anakin was a twin, but he was separated from Rey at birth. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Rey was frozen.
I want to talk about...
No, listen. Rey was frozen in carbonite as a baby, right?
Yeah.
Thawed out at Jakku. No, sent to Jakku and thawed out. And she's basically Anakin Skywalker's... She's Luke's dad. Aunt.
Luke's dad? Right. Oh, my God. Auntie Ray. Oh my God. Look, mate, that's the
weird.
wackiest theory I've ever fucking heard. Last week you were saying, what if C-3PO's Snoke? I mean, what the fuck? It's the gold robes. You're thinking, oh God, there's more to it than that. Jesus Christ, we're going to be coming up with next week.
Yeah, but
what if Chewbacca is fucking Leia's dad or something? I mean, fucking hell. You're nuts,
mate, come
man.
on.
It's a crazy theory. I guess it's feasible. What I want to know about Rey is, and what everybody sort of doesn't really seem to care about, is why the hell, if you're going to take your daughter and hide her on a weird planet, why of all people would you leave her in the hands of Onkar Plutt, like a great big fat man who's probably a child molester? I mean, like, he's a really horrible, nasty alien thing, really horrible, cruel. He's got like slaves who go and collect stuff for him. Well, you don't rock up to a planet and go, hello, can anyone look after my daughter? I don't want her anymore. Here you go, love. We're going to fuck off now. Everyone needs to calm the fuck down about The Last Jedi. Yeah, we're all excited, but calm the fuck down. I mean, have you heard the news about Battlefront 2? So
no,
this is on the subject.
Did this make you go
on the
mad?
subject of calm the fuck down. Okay.
All right, go on.
The Darth Vader character for the new Battlefront 2 game is going to take 40 hours of gameplay to unlock. Okay.
Right.
Star Wars fans, players are fucking livid. Okay. EA have received complaints and death threats. Okay, now if you're listening to this show, and I know that people listen to this from all over the world. I was looking earlier today. I saw some stats. There's someone we picked up a brand new listener, and he was in, or she was in Silicon Valley. So they literally got everything off us today. So they're going back and listening to stuff. Maybe it's you. Maybe you're the kind of person that spends all day playing Star Wars games and you know you love it. But if you're the kind of person that thinks it's acceptable to send a death threat because a character you have to work hard to unlock isn't immediately available to you as soon as you unpack the game, then you need to take a fucking long look at yourself in the mirror and maybe go outside and socialise with normal people. And please do not let that... But if anybody knows who I'm talking about, do not let that person have access to firearms, okay? Or any kind of weapons. That person should be sectioned. I'm sorry, it's for your own fucking good. You need to... maybe if
just weird,
and if your mum... If your mum is like listening and you know who I'm talking about, mum... Why don't you just like take his Xbox away and punish him for a little bit? You know,
it's clearly a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
That,
well, one person said like,
girls.
one person. Well, there's a thread on Reddit called "Seriously?" I paid $80 to have Vader locked. And basically, people are fucking furious about this.
Work for it.
Yeah, you work for it. Now,
this
I don't
is the trouble with this generation. I'll tell you what, the older I get, the sicker I get. I'm 32 now. I'm 32 now, John. And I'll tell you what, I'm getting sick of it. I used to be one of the young. I'm not anymore.
Yeah.
I don't like 'em.
The wind has well and
'em.
truly come out of our sails.
I'm bored. I've gone bald. I've got a dad bod. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, if you're listening and you're 12, stop listening to our show, mate. There's too much swearing going on. Turn off, tune out, bugger off. Next.
I would like to give you a quiz, okay? Now, we've done that sort of quiz before, but I've got a little bit of an idea on this. You know that Two Ronnies sketch where he asks his mastermind, he asks him a question and he answers for the previous question.
Right. Oh, mate, this is going to kill me. Yeah, go on.
So the first answer to the question will be yes, of course. But
Yeah.
when I actually ask the question, you're not going to reply. Okay. So, Jude, are you ready to play?
Yeah, it almost would make
No,
sense.
you've done it wrong. You've done it wrong already. You've already fucking got it wrong.
Sorry. I was
Twat. Right, Jude.
Keep that in.
Jude, are you ready to play?
Yeah. No,
No, you fucking idiot. You're not ready to play. Just leave silence there.
Go.
Jude, are you ready to play? Right, question 1 then. What is the name of the decision-making ruling body of the Old Republic?
Yes.
Correct. After a hard day on Tatooine, how does C-3PO like to relax?
The Senate.
Correct. Which actor was a carpenter before Star Wars propelled him to stardom?
Oil bath.
Correct. Who does C-3PO call an overweight glob of grease?
Harrison Ford.
Correct. Who provided the voice of Darth Vader?
My mind's gone mental. Hang on. R2? D2.
Correct. Okay. Which ice planet do the rebels have a base on at the beginning of The Empire Strikes Back?
James L. Jones.
Correct. Who does Princess Leia think is a little short for a stormtrooper?
Hoth.
Correct. Which unfortunate bounty hunter does Han Solo shoot in Mos Eisley Cantina?
Luke Skywalker.
Correct. What creature attacks Luke at the beginning of The Empire Strikes Back?
Greedo.
Correct. Who said a Jedi gains power through the understanding and a Sith gains understanding through power in Revenge of the Sith?
A Wampa.
Correct. And which actor is seen here portraying an iconic character?
Paul's Yoda.
Correct, mate. That's the end of the round. That was pretty fun, wasn't it?
Oh, mate,
and
honestly,
crazy.
If that is the biggest
The
mind
biggest head
boggle.
fuck.
You what?
The biggest head fuck ever, isn't it?
Mate, it honestly, biggest mind boggle of all time.
You want to do Lando or so do Lando?
Do a Lando off. I bet you're good at it.
I'm a clone of the Ashadi family.
Yeah, okay,
but then
fair.
he's not Billy D. Williams in this. So I don't really mind.
Oh, I'm a clone of the Ashadi family.
All right, okay, I'll do the Camp Lando then.
My great-grandfather wanted many soldiers. Oh no, many sons.
I'm a clone. I'm a clone of the Ashadi family. My great-grandfather wanted many sons, and he produced them from his cells of his own body. His sister, a remarkable woman, produced many daughters with the same means. Thus, we keep the blood pure. But since the bloody wars, there's not many of us left, and we try not to attract attention to ourselves.
Right, if you could see what I'm seeing, right, you're just hearing the
I'm
voice.
doing a little mincing.
He's doing the mince. He's got his hands flying all over the shop.
Arm on my hip. I'm all over the vintage collecting. Well, I used to be anyway, but I keep a good eye on it.
You got nothing going on now, mate.
I know. I've got a
Your
fucking
credentials are shot.
Oh, mate, I've got nothing left. I've got my X-wing miniatures because I still like to play X-wing, but that's pretty much it. I mean, my house has been stripped of all. I've got the Star Wars posters. I've still got all the books, but it's just all the toys are gone. They're all sold. But anyway, I managed to pay an enormous tax bill, so hooray! It was all worth it. It all went to the fucking Inland Revenue or whatever they're called now. HMRC, Her Majesty's Customs and Exiles.
Gunning.
Yes, so get this. I'm a member of the forum Echo Base. It's a Facebook group where Echo Base Vintage, where people trade and deal and share information about vintage toys. Some guy goes on there the other night. I'm not going to say his name, but if you look him up, you can find. If you look up the post, you can probably find it.
Yeah.
He goes on there and he says this. He's gone and bought a vintage playset. He didn't say which one. I'm guessing it's probably the Death Star Palatoy playset because of something that's coming up. A clue in there. Anyway, he's bought a vintage playset sealed from a dealer. Okay. Right. He's opened it. And discovered there's a part inside that's cracked. And he's basically going, this dealer won't give me my money back. It's like, well, hang on a minute.
Well, you've opened it.
Wait, yeah. First of all, back that up. You've bought a fucking sealed vintage Star Wars playset from the 1970s.
Yeah.
It's sealed with a piece of sticky tape that's 40 years old.
Yeah.
That is priceless. And you cut that open to get it out, to take it to bits, and then while doing that, you discovered that this piece of plastic or whatever was cracked. Now, he then thinks that's the problem of the seller. So he's also accusing the seller of knowing the piece was cracked.
Right, X-ray vision.
Yeah, exactly. So I got into a fight with this guy. I'm saying, like, it's ridiculous.
Mate,
why did you open it in the first fucking place? And secondly, how on earth did you think how do you explain that the dealer knew that the part was cracked? And also, why would it be the dealer's problem? The problem is with the manufacturer. And you know what? Newsflash.
40 years ago.
Kenner and Palatoy don't exist anymore.
Yeah,
so good luck writing to them and getting your money back for that.
So,
what a bellend.
Basically...
You know why he opened it?
Go on.
So he could display it. It's like, why don't you just fucking buy a second-hand one that's already been opened and display that? And then keep the mint condition sealed one.
What he's done is he's ruined that mint condition for everyone.
Yeah, exactly, because there's a finite number of them in the world, those play sets. There's a very finite number of them that are actually sealed.
Endangered species, mate. It's the equivalent of an ivory poacher. Just going around.
People
like,
were
like
just
he's like that
furious
pleb, that
at this
dentist.
guy.
Do you remember that
Furious.
dentist a few years ago that shot? What was he shot that lion or something?
Oh,
and
yeah.
it had a net, and it had a name and everything.
Yeah.
And he just like smiling to the camera. What a knob! But yeah.
Some people, some people just want to watch the world burn. They're literally buying vintage. I was saying, if anybody's got anyone's got any double telescopic mint condition on card Star Wars figures, that are worth thousands, let that guy know, because he wants to rip them open and put them on display in his cabinet of loose figures. Oh man, it'll be a pleasure.
Chat, because we've been chatting for 28 minutes with Dad. He's just given me a coffee. Do you want to say anything on the show?
All right. Well, apart from Chewbacca noises.
Go on, Chewbacca noises. All right, a little
John.
segment. Right, I'm going to chat. Shall I take the headphones out? I can't because...
No, don't do that.
It's funny, but you say something to me and all you get is all this noise.
He hates Chewbacca. So
everything else about Star Wars is fantastic.
Apart from Chewie.
Apart from Chewie, yes.
And you don't like him because he's...
The noise just annoys me. I don't know why.
Sounds a bit racist.
Yeah. But and there's a stack of Star Wars things in the loft.
I know. We were saying earlier we're going to go and raid that. I'm going to bring John down and we'll go and raid it.
Go through it.
Yeah, nice one. Do your Chewbacca impression again.
I mean, what is that? What is it?
It's a mixture of a walrus and a bear. Tell him, I think.
Say again.
It's a mixture of a walrus and a bear, Chewbacca. Your dad's great. He's so much fun.
Yeah, he's a nice bloke, isn't he?
I'm really looking forward to coming down. I've got the seal of approval now. Dad says I can do it. So
Dad says you can come down. You can come down.
Look, there's people in this world who eat human beings, and I've always been a bit. I've always been. I must admit, I would. If someone came up to me in the street and went, "Here, mate, got a bit of
human
flesh over here, bit of thigh, bit of human meat. Would you like to taste a bit of that?" If no one was looking, I'd probably have a taste.
You can't put this on the podcast, mate. You can't put this on the podcast.
What is so wrong? Look, is it so wrong if I cut my own leg off and then eat it? Because I'm curious to know what human flesh tastes like.
I think I
reckon it would taste like pork, maybe a bit like lamb. I don't even know.
What's the point?
I just want to know, though. What's the point? Because you've got to try everything. You've got to try all kinds of food.
I would not be surprised if the police bash your door down and start looking around in your walls and stuff. But
They can have a look in my walls. I don't have a woman in my cellar like in Silence of the Lambs. I'm not trying to make a skin suit. I'm not trying. I'm not. I promise. I'm not trying to. Don't go in there. Don't go in that cupboard. There's nothing in there. There's nothing in there. The smell is just the drains. Every time they come around, I'm saying to people,
It's the
excuse
drains,
the
man.
smell, it's the drains. I'm not the next Dennis Nilsson. I don't have bin bags of dead bodies in my house, but I would love to try. But if anyone out there, any of our listeners, if you really love the show like you say you do, why don't you just cut off your arm and like wrap it up in ice?
Where is this
Send it to me,
going? I don't want to know. I'm
and
not.
I will cut that arm up and debone it,
Mate, this
and I'll
stuff
fry
freaks
that
me
in a
out. I
nice
don't
frying
like it.
pan. Maybe I'll put it in a broth or something,
Stop
and
it.
I'll eat your arm,
Oh,
and I can
so-
try sweetbreads.
Stop.
You know?
It makes me
As
feel
nature
sick.
intended. Some of our vegan listeners, I think they might be turning off now at this point. The idea of eating somebody made you feel sick.
I'm not a fan. I watched a live once.
Oh,
where they
yeah.
yeah.
That was the
just-
film where they ate each other, wasn't it? Or
No,
was
they-
that
they
Deep
had
Throat?
They had to survive, and I think it's based
Yeah.
on a true story as well. But yeah.
They ate the dead though. They ate the dead, the people who'd frozen to death. I
Yeah.
mean, is that
it's-
better or
It
worse
makes me
than
feel
killing someone?
uncomfortable talking about it.
Okay,
I
I'm
don't
very
even know-
sorry.
I don't even know if we should put it on the show. To be honest.
I think we should keep it on the show. I think we should have cannibalism in Star Wars. There should be at least some space cannibals out there. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? They did it in The Walking Dead, and it was a whole new dynamic to The Walking Dead, because usually it's The Walking Dead is, oh, there's zombies over there, oh, these people are nasty,
Don't
these
watch
people
that
are
either.
Nazis. And then one day they got to this place and everything seemed fine, and then it became very obvious that the people
We're
that were
eating each other.
their hosts actually wanted them there simply to murder them and eat them.
Oh, nice.
So that was an interesting twist, and maybe there should be cannibals in Star Wars, space cannibals.
Who would it be? Jabba the
I don't know,
Hutt?
like a weird tribe that live on the, like a
Sand
kind of
people. I imagine
savages.
the sand people would do that.
Yeah, the sand people eating each other. Not each other, but Jawas or something.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't know what's wrong with me. This is like.
All right,
It
let me ask you this.
messes with my mind. I don't like.
When Han Solo cuts open the tauntaun,
Yeah.
and it all goes, and all the tubes come out and whatever.
Don't care, mate.
What do you think it tastes like or smells like? Because I reckon it smells like fish, really strong,
And I thought they smelled bad.
like real like sardines, like boom. I reckon it tastes a bit like imagine blowing up a condom and just biting it. I reckon it tastes like
Sorry.
that. Like there's nothing there. You just you're
Yeah.
biting in. It's just air.
I know what you mean. I don't
All
know,
this
man.
milk starts pouring out and
always
stuff.
I
What
found a
did
pig.
tauntauns taste like? That's our new episode.
I found a pig head
title.
in an alley once.
A pig head?
Yeah, when I was a
Was
kid.
it around the back
97.
of Downing Street by any chance during the David
No, there was a
Cameron
bunch
years?
of yeah. There was an old butcher's down the road, and we had these
Right.
alleyways out the back.
Ah,
And,
the offal bins.
Yeah, and there was just a pig head on the floor, and we were fascinated,
Right.
but flipping out was stank. So I
I
imagine
bet
it
it
smelled. I imagine it smelled like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's I reckon it would. Chicken's the worst. If you've all done it. You've all been cutting up chicken or something, and then you've put all the offcuts in the bin,
Yeah.
and you thought to yourself,
Mate.
must remember to take that bin out in the morning, and then the next day it's like, bloody hell, what's that horrific smell? Where's it coming
yeah.
from? And it's just the uncooked raw chicken at room temperature.
Disgusting.
Was been in the bin for 12 hours or something.
So if you're listening to
stinking
this
your house
show,
out.
eating your lunch, hope you're enjoying it.
Yeah, I hope you are.
honestly think we should cut all of that.
Don't cut anything.
I don't-
We're having a lovely talk about cannibalism
I
there.
don't
It's
like
a
it,
fascinating
man.
subject.
I'm not.
It's not like I was talking about grave robbing. I'm talking about cutting my own arm off and eating it just to see what my arm tastes like. If anyone's got any arms they
If
want
there's
to
any
give me,
psychology people,
send us your arms. There's a number on the bottom of the screen
No.
right now. It's like the Star Wars
Listen.
show.
If anyone wants to I can't even say the bloody word.
Suck an oyster.
Suck an oyster. Psychologically assess.
If you
John,
love to suck an oyster, get in touch with the show.
Please get in touch and
Yeah,
sort it out.
send me your arms. You don't need them anymore. One of our listeners out there, the doctor's gone. Sorry, mate. You've had a terrible car accident.
John,
the bones
you
all
can't say
coming
this,
out.
man.
It smells like almonds. That
This might
arm's
have
coming
happened to
off
someone.
in the morning. In the
John,
morning, mate.
this
You're
might have
losing
said-
that arm,
might
and
have-
I'm going to be. They're going to be sat there listening to Blah Wars, going, "Huh, got no arm, bloody. I'm losing my bloody arm tomorrow." And then they hear this and they go, "Oh." I say, "Doctor, can I get my arm packed in ice and maybe Solero and a couple of mini milks and sent off?" That's my dessert. Sent off in a polystyrene box like a emergency heart transplant to me, and I'll cook it, and we can both eat your arm together. I'll come and. Jude's giving me a look of just despair and dread. He looks like he's reached the end of it all, really.
I don't know what to say.
Mate, I'm starving hungry, and I could go for a bit of arm right now. Why is it okay to kill a cow and eat a cow, but it's not okay to cut my own arm off and eat that?
I don't know. I don't know whether you need help or not, mate.
Can we talk about the Last Jedi book?
Anything
novel?
Star Wars.
We've
We've got to cut all that shit. We've got to cut
No,
all
we're not
that.
cutting anything. He's so sensitive, Jude. He's so sensitive. He's like, oh, John mentioned something that was vaguely current affairs last week. Cut that. It's too controversial. We could talk about pretty much anything on the show.
All right.
I think people know I'm not being serious. If I was actually... It's not like we're interviewing Ed Gein over here, you know. I'm not being serious. I'm obviously playing around. Please don't cut your arm off and send it to me. If you did, I would be very disturbed by that. Have I ever told you about my brother and the toothpaste story?
No.
Now, because I don't think I've ever mentioned this on the show before, and it's a great little story. So it starts like this. When I was about 21, due to unfortunate circumstances, I briefly moved back home to live with my mum and stepdad for about 3 or 4 months. And while I was living at home, my brother was also staying there because he was on a break from university over the summer. And what happened was my stepdad's aunt died, and they went round to clear out her flat. And then they came back one day with a box of various belongings that they'd found in the flat that they thought they could salvage. Things like shower gel, shampoo, just odds and sods really that had no need being thrown out really.
I know,
anyway,
I can see where this is going.
Wait, so my brother Sam, being a poor student at the time, had a rummage through the box and helped himself to some of the stuff in there, one of which was a box of Sainsbury's brand toothpaste, okay? So on his way upstairs, he comes up to my room and leans on the door and just catches up with me. And I'm just chatting with him. And I notice in his hand he's got this box of toothpaste. And I said, all right, man, what's that? And it looks a bit retro, okay? So it's red, and it's got gold, like reflective gold writing all over the box and whatever. And it's got like a Sainsbury's logo. It didn't look too new. Anyway, I didn't really think much of it, but I had a look at him and gave it him back. Anyway, that night, he's getting ready to go out to meet his girlfriend. Okay, so he's had a shower, he's come out of the bathroom, he's gone in, he's got dressed, and then he's in the bathroom again, the door's open, and he's just sort of brushing his hair, doing his teeth and all this. And I can hear the tap running, and whatever, right? And then all of a sudden I just heard this scream, like, ah, God, help me! Okay, so I was like, what the hell? So I got up and ran into the bathroom, and Sam has got his whole head in the sink, and his mouth is underneath the tap, which is gushing into his mouth and just, completely flushing his mouth out. Yeah. And I said, like, what's wrong? What's the matter? And he's pointing to the toothpaste, which is behind him, like he's struggling across the room.
What the hell?
So I picked up the toothpaste, and he's going, the date. It's like gargling and all this water's coming out. The date. And I looked on the toothpaste, I'm looking all over, can't see a date. And then finally I look at the bit where the tube gets squished together at the end, and there's actually a date printed on there. Best before
No.
June 1986. Okay?
What the hell?
That tube, which is exactly that 1 year before he was born. That's when that expired. Okay? Apparently, it tasted like bleach. That's the best way you could describe it. What do you think of Laura Dern's character, General Holdo?
I think it
Do you like Laura Dern as an actor?
Yeah,
a bit of a
I've
fan?
got anything. Well, I mean, I haven't got anything against her. I think she's.
I have. Blue Ridge is awful
I
in this.
love her blue ridge. I love her mermaid hair.
Where's she got time to do that?
I wish they hadn't dressed her in that colour.
But
though.
look at the way she dresses. She dresses like she's off to dinner or something. She doesn't. Everyone else is wearing like dirty like jumpsuits and stuff, and she's
I'm
like dressed up
sorry,
like this.
but Leia's wardrobe in this, I wanted everything she had. Her like amazing cape
Gowns and stuff.
thing.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, yeah, she was incredible.
She's always been a good dresser, Leia.
It does look like
Apart
she
from
has a
Jedi,
halo.
where everything she wears in Jedi is awful.
You know what? I'm just looking at this, thinking they've dressed her like the Holy Mother. She's got a halo, and she's got
That's
a.
interesting.
You're a sickhead with your observations.
Oh, dude,
You're good,
full-time film critic on the show this week.
I've literally only just noticed that from watching it right now.
She reminds me of the. Have you ever seen Bar
makes
Bar, the
perfect-
cartoon?
Yeah.
She's the old lady that comes in and reads them a
God.
story. She looks like she's tall and thin, and she's
know
very
what?
tall actually.
That's the difference. That's the scale, the polar opposites. Sophistication, the Holy Mother, and Bar the cartoon. Welcome to Blah Wars.
I think it's good to have those juxtapositions. in the
Although
show.
the Barbara episode I'm thinking of when you said that was
Yeah.
the one where there's like a Phantom of the Opera
Yes.
down in this building, which is another example of Death and the Maiden. Just saying.
Yeah,
We've
okay.
come full circle.
Great,
Yeah.
this is amazing. The only Star Wars podcast out there that talks about Bar Bar as well.
Oh, we are now the most unsophisticated / sophisticated podcast out there.
It's
for Star
highbrow
Wars.
and it's lowbrow.
Yeah, it's
It's monobrow. It's one monobrow that goes downwards.
Someone's sloping knife.
Wow.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. I'm not to say slope. Billy Lord. I think she's got my roundness of face and no chin.
Oh, if you want to see Jude doing a Billy Lord cosplay at the next Star Wars event we go to, I'd love to see
I
that.
am currently trying to lose some weight, so I'm not saying Billy Lord's fat, but we've got the same jawline. Say that.
God, you're so horrible.
Jesus.
What? There's no right angle going on it whatsoever.
I'm
we
way
break
more
it down?
excited for this film now than I
Yeah, for
was
sure.
before.
I was really dreading it before. I thought, oh God, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be like, Disney's Fanny kind of thing.
Who?
I can't believe I just said that.
What did you say?
Disney's fanny thing.
Disney's fan
What?
thing.
Oh,
I
fanny
literally
thing.
did just say that.
You
Right.
did just say that.
In America, that
No.
means arse. In England, that means front arse.
Thanks for
mate.
that, Jude. Thanks for
So just-
explaining.
Well, just in case they think it means fanny pack. So
okay, well, now you know.
Your dad
Oh, go on.
was on Instagram the other day, mate.
What's he done now?
He was down the harvester with your mum. Is he a big harvester? I just reminded me of harvester. I've not been to one for years. Is it big where they live? The harvester.
No, I mean, I remember going all the time in the 90s.
Yeah,
Remember
exactly.
that? For a
Have you
salad,
ever been
and
to a
there was
car-
always way too much sweet
Yeah,
corn.
because it's free salad, unlimited salad
Is
cart.
it?
You go in there and you just help yourself to bowls full of
That's why he's
sweet
there then, 'cause
corn,
he's on a diet.
croutons. Oh, right. You can
Yeah.
cover it in like
We
what?
could go
sour
Brady
cream.
on our diet.
Brady, you've been to a harvester before?
No, I
Never been to a harvester?
haven't. No, because I'm like a child of Weatherspoons.
Right, it's
So
way
that's
more
all
upmarket than Weatherspoons because it's proper.
Yeah,
you can
sounds
see
it.
the kitchen's open plan. You can see
It's the
everyone
sort of
grilling.
place that Alan Partridge would go
Yeah,
in
totally.
to take a date.
What you do is you
Oh
start
my
off,
God,
you
yeah,
start off with
yeah, I know
unlimited
exactly what you mean.
free salad, so
Yeah.
you go for bowls and bowls of stuff.
Pizza Hut used to do that.
Yeah, and then they have the ice cream factory at Pizza Hut,
Oh
which
my
they don't
God.
have here.
That's so
Remember
good.
that with all the Smarties?
Oh my God.
And then you get like a main, and we're talking about like grilled meat here. We're talking about steak. We're talking about ribs. We're talking about pork, right? And then to top it all off, if you can even finish that, they bring out the desserts. The desserts are ice cream sundaes, and they come in like an FA Cup size glass chalice, don't they?
Yeah.
Like a Stella glass.
Right, that's it.
Full of
When
ice cream.
when we all get down to my dad's house, when we raid the attic for all my
Yeah.
old Star Wars toys, we're all going for a harvest.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
let's do
yes.
it. And you corn
Oh my
the cob.
God.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a fan of
Unlimited
that. Not a fan of
salad.
that.
What's wrong with
No, I
corn
love
on the
it.
cob?
What's
I
wrong
mean,
with that?
well, taste of nothing.
Buttery. Put butter all
and
over
sweetness.
it. It's a bit painful to eat because it all gets stuck in your teeth.
I saw this
True.
bird on, woman, lady, lovely lady she was.
So it got anything to do with the woman being on the show now, Jude? If
On,
you pick up,
on YouTube,
Yeah.
she shoved a drill bit through a corner of the clock.
so you're going to say something else? I think it wasn't YouTube, mate. Was it? It was you porn.
No,
Yeah.
I don't watch that film.
Okay.
Right, drill bit through the corner of the clock like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and then she's
Great radio.
she's hit the on button on the drill, so this corner cob's spinning
Oh my
really fast
God.
round, and she's gone to eat it like that.
Yeah.
Teeth just go everywhere,
Oh,
and she's staring at the
my
camera going,
God.
"What's happening? I tell you what's happening. You're mental."
Stretched out. But another good podcast that's out right now that people should listen to,
Go on.
as well as this one, is Richard Herring's Leicester Square Theatre podcast.
Well, that's it then. Goodbye,
Because
Blah
this
Wars
week-
listeners.
no,
We're all
this
going
week-
after Richard.
They're talking to the latest episode is an interview with Brian Blessed, who is one of the most strangest and eccentric
Gordon.
Englishmen. Yeah, Brian Blessed of Flash Gordon fame. You know who Brian Blessed is? But also, who is he in Star Wars?
Boss Nass.
Boss Nass, the leader of the Gun Guns, okay? So it's slightly relevant. But did you know Brian Blessed, he's got the lungs of... He's like an 83-year-old man. He's incredibly loud. He's like this big, booming presence. He kind of takes over the whole show. Two really weird things about him. Okay, I want you to get your phones out now and actually look this one up. If you Google, and people at home can do this as well, get in Google now and Google Brian Blessed foot. Okay?
Oh god, do I want to do this?
He has got the weirdest fucking foot. He injured it when he was a kid, and it looks like a giant's hand is trying to grow out of his leg.
Oh Jesus, really?
It's like a frog.
Oh my god!
What is that?
Isn't it fucking bizarre? It's the weirdest thing you've ever seen.
Jesus.
It looks like a car ran over it or something.
What did he do to that?
So he fell off a bridge apparently, quite a
Oh
high
my
bridge.
God.
How did you fall
Into water. I was doing something, he was playing around as a kid and fell off a
Apparently,
massive
he
bridge.
climbed Everest with that foot.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
He survived as well.
Yeah.
He's got the lungs of like an astronaut, they say.
And
He's
the-
incredibly powerful and strong.
Well, I mean, he can balance well on that, I imagine.
Yeah,
Lord.
there's no
What are you gonna
trouble
say to that?
standing on that.
So what do you have to get special shoes or something?
I don't know, it fits
Yeah,
inside
he
his shoe.
must
He's
do.
wearing normal trainers on the show. But basically that picture
Wow.
there is when that was he was doing a TV interview in a hospital and someone said to him, the subject of feet came up and he
His
goes,
dreams
I've got
are-
a weird foot, and he literally took his shoe off and showed everybody, and they were like, fucking hell. So that's why it's sort of weird, because it's like a screen capture from TV.
To scare kids when he on the beach.
He's a very foul-mouthed man. If you actually listen to this podcast, you'll hear him saying things that make a whore blush. Present company accepted.
Excuse me.
Don't say that.
Sorry. I take it back. Sorry. Oh, Brady, I'm
Jude's
sorry. She looks really upset. But no, the other thing about Brian Blessed is, a couple of years is completely true. I knew about this before the show, before the podcast. He was walking through Richmond Park a couple of years ago, and he heard a woman screaming.
Right, Brian and I looking at each other
And
worried.
Yeah.
He ran over and found a woman laying on the floor,
Right.
pregnant woman laying on the floor, okay, screaming. She said, my baby's coming, right? So
Is this for real?
He pulled her legs apart and pulled her pants off on the grass in Richmond, and he
My
could
face.
see
John,
the
what?
baby coming out. And he said that he grew up in a big family, and delivering babies at home was a normal thing that children
With his
did
weird foot.
with their
Wow,
mum when they were
what?
kids. Anyway, so he knew exactly what was
Where did he
going
grow
on.
up?
Anyway, in North or somewhere, I don't know.
Somewhere north.
Somewhere up Yorkshire in the fucking third world, in the 50s. Anyway, all the war years, I suppose that children were more helpful around the home. They weren't fucking around playing on their Xboxes
Listening to
when their mum was
Blah
giving
Wars.
birth
Watching
downstairs.
Star Wars, yeah.
Anyway, so the head's poking out. So he delivers the baby, and then he to cut the umbilical cord.
Oh, you're gonna say? I know what you're gonna
bit
say.
it in
I
half.
knew it.
No fucking lie. He
Oh,
fucking bites
Jesus.
in half the umbilical cord. Imagine him just chewing on it.
Jesus.
Like Jaws in the Bond film Moonraker.
The placenta.
He got her.
Packed it up, took it home, and had that for afters.
He made her force it all out and everything because he knew it had to come out.
Force it all out?
Yeah.
He made her force it all out.
Pulled it out with the afterbirth and stuff.
And what
Pulled
did
the
they do?
umbilical
And
cord.
what did they do with the baby?
Well,
Obviously.
the baby, he took off his shirt and wrapped
Right,
it in
okay,
his
yeah.
shirt, gave it to the woman, and he said that she's never been in touch with him since. I'm not really surprised, but he delivered the woman's baby in Richmond Park.
Yeah. Blood and down his mouth.
God.
Just all down his big beard as well.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Placenta
come on.
and afterbirth in his beard.
Jesus, stop it. Oh my God.
Seems like a good idea at the time. New bit of the show, new feature.
Who Star Wars should go on a diet apart from Jabba the Hutt?
Oh, come on.
No, I think.
Boss Nass.
Are we going to judge women's sizes on this show?
No, we're absolutely not going to do that.
Then definitely nobody.
Yeah.
Is there any
We can't
male
judge
characters?
size.
No, we can't really. It's not really fair to make fun of how people look. But if we were going to, what would we? What about? I'll tell you what. Jabba's Palace. During the dance number, there's a really massive woman like kind of kicking her legs around. Have you seen her?
No.
She's fucking huge. She could definitely use a few. She could definitely. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
In the bit where the woman's pulling on Jabba's chain and he throws her down the pit, there's a massive woman also striding and she's like kicking her feet out.
The Rancors got her
Wait,
his
isn't
eye
she
on
in
that one.
Ah, yes. So many memories, so many happy memories making Blah Wars for a year now. And I hope you enjoyed that little collection of the highlights of Blah Wars from the last year. Remember that there's still time to vote if you haven't done so already, and help us clinch the coveted prize of the British Podcasting Awards Listener's Choice. So you have to go to the website. It's britishpodcastawards.com/vote and fill in a little form there. It couldn't be any more simple than that. You'd have to be an idiot to find that in any way difficult or confusing. So thank you very much for voting for us. I'm trusting that anyone listening to this will go and do that. It really does take 30 seconds and it'll be a massive help. Next week we have a jam-packed week for Blah Wars. We are doing releasing two shows, and then we are recording a third at Comic-Con, which you will be able to come and maybe be on if you can find us at Comic-Con. If you see us, by all means do come over and say hello. We will be wearing our Blah Wars shirts, but if you look at our social media, you'll know what we all look like anyway. And it will be so nice to meet some fans, and we'll be more than happy to chat to you. We may even ask to record a little conversation with you for the show, but that is up to you. Anyway, I'm waffling now, aren't I? I'm going to leave you to enjoy the rest of your evening or weekend. Take care, and God bless. And may the force be with you.